I'm Jeff Hemmings. This is Brighton's Finest radio show, online, DAB and podcast, bringing the artist closer to you.
No, well, it's kind of the end of the tour of our own gigs, but we're playing 2 festivals tomorrow and the next day.
Okay, right. I thought you might have been having a celebratory end of tour drink last night.
Well, we did that too, but
I've noticed actually that Egyptian Blue have been playing with you guys.
Yeah, they've been doing both this tour and the last tour.
Yeah, they're Brighton based, aren't they?
Yeah,
we're quite familiar with them down here, so that's been fantastic. How did you hook up with them?
Just the last time the first time we were in Brighton, even, which is going back a while now. They were just the local support, and we just kind of hit it off and loved their music, so to use them again. Good
stuff. Okay, cool. So everything seems to be going really well at the moment. Obviously a big moment for everybody because it's your debut album. It's been finished for a while, I take it, so it's kind of that weird period when it's finished, but you're waiting for it to come out.
Yeah, for sure. It's like you kind of stop thinking about it, and then all of a sudden, it's fresh for everybody else. Yeah,
and a lot of people, or most people, won't know the album at all. In fact, almost everybody will not have heard it, but obviously anybody's seen your live shows will have heard some of the tracks, and two or three of the tracks that have come out as singles. So, are you in nervous anticipation still?
No, I don't think so. It's like made the album we wanted to make, and whatever happens, happens. Like, don't really have any goals or anything in mind for how it's going to be perceived. I'm happy with it. So
you're happy with it. That's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So tell me about the album title. Which I believe is based on a poet, isn't it?
Yeah, it's taken
poem,
from a John Keats poem. It's taken from a John Keats poem.
Right. Okay.
It's just we found that early on. It was just really inspiring in a lot of ways, and just the tone of it also just ended up becoming kind of like a structural pillar for the album. So it was just kind of something we could look back on. They were, when writing a song, does this fit into the world of the album and the poem? And because obviously it's so easy to write 2 or 3 songs that fit together, but writing 10 songs, an album is a different thing. Like so.
So you came up with the name a long time ago.
Ages ago, probably like 2 or 3 or 4 songs in.
Okay, and there is a sort of a definite kind of running theme throughout the album. I mean, maybe not an obvious theme, but it's there are themes in there which is based on the poem.
For sure. I mean, there's just the kind of overarching just themes of like grief and mortality and fear and all that sort of fun stuff.
How does a song come about then? How does the Murder Capital song come about? I imagine it's a mixture of jamming away, but also maybe somebody coming with the bones of an idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much that, but the ideas can be as simple as like, here I have this rhythm, that's kind of, let's all play this one rhythm and see how it feels, and then somebody might play something slightly against it, and then that'll be enough to get the ball rolling. But then other times, I mean, it'll just be, jamming and pulling some ideas out of that, like listening to a recording and seeing if there's anything there. But I mean, it's kind of different every time. It keeps you kind of fresh, I think.
Yeah. And the lyrics come afterwards?
James writes the lyrics sometimes before, sometimes afterwards, sometimes during. Sometimes he's just like kind of improvising over the top, and then an idea will come together, and he'll go and away and work on it. Like.
So is he always there or thereabouts, even if you're just sort of working on musical ideas? Because he can.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. I mean, it's a total like 5-way process in terms of like everybody has as much say over, or like James has as much say over the bass as Gabriel would over vocal melody.
Yeah. Okay. So you got a very democratic unit.
Yeah.
And I know that has its pluses as well as its negatives. Certainly in my experience, because I used to manage a 6-piece band who were very democratic, and if one person wasn't really into it or there was a problem with something, then more often than not the idea got shelved.
For sure. Yeah, and it can make even like sort of business decisions or like logistic decisions just a complete pain in the ass.
How long have you been together as a unit, as the 5 you've got now?
The 5 we've got now, probably about a year.
Just a year?
Yeah.
That's hard to believe.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Because you played in Brighton earlier this year, didn't you? Right at the beginning of the year? At Prince Albert?
October.
So it was October of last year?
Yeah.
And you'd only been together 3 or 4 months?
Yeah, before that it had been me, James, and Pump, the other guitar player, and 2 other, so when the other 2 guys, the only track we had off the album was More or Less.
Right. So you worked pretty quickly together. I read somewhere that you'd kind of, you fumbled your way, as bands often do, to find something that you kind of liked and thought worked, and that happened quite quickly, I think. And More is Less was the song that was the one that kind of grabbed your attention. It seemed to work.
Well, I guess probably when we wrote that, we'd written maybe 20 songs together, all of different qualities and really just very broad in terms of sound and genre. But that was just felt kind of like an arrival moment of okay, this is the first actual decent song we've written.
That's a neat inversion, isn't it, of a cliche? Less is more,
yeah,
more is less.
Yeah. It is funny though, when people say to us, talk about the song, they generally say more or less.
Are you guys, did you go to college or university, or did you...
we all went to BIM for a bit in Dublin.
Right. That's the great thing about BIM, isn't it? We got one in Brighton.
It really is, yeah.
Most of the people I talk to who are BIM students, not really that enthusiastic about the courses and stuff like that, but they say it's a great networking opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the course, everybody has their issues with different pieces of it, but ultimately, you get some great teachers and then, some great students you can meet as well. I mean, Egyptian Blue are from BIM as well.
So I know some of these questions you've probably been asked loads of times, but I do want to get a handle on the band's name, The Murder Capital. Where did that come from, and why did you choose that name?
It's just kind of a little commentary on just the lack of mental health services around Ireland and the whole world really, and then suicide as a result of that, and then just lots of people dying. Yeah.
And it's becoming a big issue, isn't it? Especially amongst the young.
Yeah, it really is, especially, with young males and...
But also there's an optimism as well, isn't there? With, again, I read romance is a big part of the narrative.
Sure. I mean, it's without that, sometimes looking at life just seems a little bit unbearable, it's if you can see the romance in some things, it kind of takes away the sting a little bit.
All right, well, just finally then, I saw you play at the Great Escape back in May, a little show you did at the Prince Albert again, which was phenomenal because it's a tiny venue and it was just queues going out right down the road. Luckily I managed to get in, thanks, because I know the manager, but it's a phenomenal show. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I do, that was a good one. I mean, all those were fun.
Yeah.
That was a really cool little... I know it's a bit industry showcasey, but having all those bands around beautiful sunny Brighton was just a cool thing.
Well, I think it's full of people who love new music as well. Love hearing the new stuff.
You can just feel that. It's everyone's just going around having a good time, looking at all these new bands.
So it's all chugging along very nicely.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, it's just at this point.
I know you didn't have any plan. You just sort of went, we're going to make some music together and see what happens.
Exactly, yeah. At this point, it's when's our luck going to run out kind of thing. It's a little bit weird, to be honest.
And you're even number 1 in the 12-inch vinyl chart, which is pretty good.
Yeah.